Hi everyone, this is Sharon. I'm back today with a journal flip through of a Christmas journal that I just completed today. I'm calling this one Rejoice. As much as I love Santa and snowmen and all of those fun things about Christmas, I wanted to do a couple journals that had more of a religious focus, and this one is that. When I started making it, I was thinking Christmas all the way, but actually you'll see as we flip through, this could easily be used any time of the year as a prayer journal, a gratitude journal, anything that you want really to put thoughts down. I did a velvet ribbon closure and a mother of pearl buckle on the front. And in my usual style, I repurposed an old book cover. This one's from the early 1900s. It actually was a book about emergency response and how to respond to emergencies, but this Tree of Life image on the front I just love, and I thought it kind of fit perfectly with the theme I wanted to go with on this one. It's got a nice sage green cover. It cleaned up really well. Pretty decent shape. There's a little bit of wear on the spine. Hopefully you can see that. On this journal, I decided to go ahead and do exposed stitching on the outside for a couple reasons. It looks kind of medieval-esque to me, and that's the theme. You'll see as we go through that it's got a very much of a medieval theme to it. The other reason I did this is because I really wanted to preserve the inside covers. You can see there's kind of the original cotton strip there of the binding and all the original stitch holes, and for some reason I just wanted to preserve that as much as I could. I just love that look. So I did peel this back and reinforced the spine, glued it back down again, and stitched my signatures right to the book. For some reason, maybe I'm crazy, but I just could not cover this up. I love this. It's just a public library label on there, but it's kind of peeled away, and to me it goes with the theme of this medieval style book, and I just thought it looks like something that maybe was pulled out of the archives. So if the person who ends up owning this journal really wants a decorative piece of paper or something on the cover, I would certainly do that. So going through, I don't know if I mentioned this, there are 156 pages and 7 signatures in total. On a lot of the signature covers, I put different types of sari fabric as flips and attached them with some decorative stitching. I used the Medieval Odyssey one from Medieval Mirage. I can't say that. Try to say that fast 5 times. Medieval Odyssey 1 from Medieval Mirage is the kit that I used throughout here. And I also used quite a few images from the Graphics Fairy as well. I will post all my digital sources in the description. Also in each signature, I've included pages and images from a book that I purchased. It's called Christmas in Song, Sketch, and Story. It's an 1891 book. It's just a beautiful old book. It's got stories in it. It's got illustrations and songs. And I have the images that I have in this journal, as well as a bunch of additional ones from that book in a digital kit in my Etsy store. So you could check that out. The backs of a lot of these pages, I used this background. It kind of looks like old parchment to me, and that's a Graphics Fairy digital. These I also put on, it's called Tomo River paper, I believe. It's made in Japan. It's very lightweight. I think it's a 52 GSM paper, and it's just very soft and feathery. The Medieval Mirage kit comes with a lot of really nice decorative belly bands as well. So I've got some of those throughout. And on the larger journaling cards, I did some decorative stitching around the outside. And hopefully you can see that. And then with some pattern paper on the back. that kind of reminds me of the old prayer cards that I used to see as a child, where people would actually crochet around the outside of those. And then I've got some little tea cards and little calling cards sprinkled throughout as well. And I've put some Christmas related Bible verses on the back of those. There's a couple more journaling cards. I've used some botanical pages, some shorthand book pages. And in the center, this is a landscape on vellum. Hopefully you can see that okay. More journaling cards. Here's another page from that old Christmas book that I have. In between each of the signatures, I kind of put a decorative divider just to kind of break up all the pattern and give it a little relief in between there, and then I punched the edge of that. And on every other signature, I went from a sari, decorative sari fabric, to a very simple cheesecloth, and I've got some wooden blocks for fabric stamping, so I did some stamping on the cheesecloth ones. And then I added some embossed paper and put some Christmas related Bible verses on there, and then just gave it a little gilding. This is a little pocket, again with some journaling cards and some decorative stitching. Graphics Fairy image. On here I did some tinted gesso, mixed gesso with acrylic paint, and then did a stencil on the top of that. This kind of reminded me of the Star in the East. This is a picture of a church at Christmas time. And I think that was from the early 1900s. I've also done some punch strips on silver paper that I've put on some of the pages as well. The next signature, you got a sari flip, some decorative paper, picture of the Holy Family, and here's another little card with the verse on it, and this is the Magi visiting Jesus with some decorative stitching on it. It's a piece of lace there, and another washi trim. A couple of cards. Another landscape on vellum. And you'll see that each of these signatures are set up pretty much the same. Cheesecloth with some decorative stitching on top. I absolutely love this picture, but every time I look at it, it seems like she's kind of bored. I don't know why. And here I made a belly band with some embossed cardstock, and then I inked over the top of that. Added a little bit of lace on the bottom. Here's another picture. This is actually a postcard picture of the church I go to. And I believe this was taken in 1929. I've got a couple little sparkly dangles on there. We did a little collaging with some paper and some lace trim. I guess that's crocheting. This one I just kind of left the threads hanging. It seemed like that was appropriate for this one for some reason. And I added a little bit of lace on that one as well. This belly band has a little embellishment there and some lace trim. Another couple of cards. Pretty much the same style throughout. Another ancient landscape picture. Christmas in Song. It's got a listing of songs on that page. And then this is another flip. And it's got the same treatment as the other signatures. This is called the Snow Angel. And a couple of cards. Another picture of a church, and then I've got a couple of a little a charm and a bead on that one. This page I just added some velvet ribbon and a little bit of lace. The last signature, I got a sari flip on the front again. Mother and son. A little bit of collaging. Card. Vellum landscape in the middle. A little bit of sari trim and some washi tape on that page. And then, yeah, I love this. That's a Raphael painting. Christmas card. And that's the last page. Again, you can see here I've left the original binding and stitching holes, which I really love the look of that for some reason. So this journal will be available in my Etsy shop, and I hope you enjoyed that flip through. I've got one more in the works similar to this. I'm hoping I can get that done within the next week. I'm not positive that will happen, but if I do, I'll get that one up as soon as I can. Otherwise, bye-bye till next time. Thank you.